Welcome back to the Anything Flies podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the college football playoffs, and we're going to be predicting the top 12 teams. And then throughout the rest of the postseason, we're going to be predicting who's going to win and who will be the 2025 college football playoff champion. We've got a special guest, Kevin Walsh on. He's a big football guy. He's all over social media. Kevin, where can we find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on social media. It's at KEVN Walsh. Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube. You can just look up my full name. I couldn't get the I in the Instagram handle, so just don't put the I in the Instagram handle, but definitely check me out. A lot of sports, football content. You definitely don't want to miss it.
Well, Kevin, we're excited to have you on. Thank you for coming again. Let's just get right into it. I'll just take it away with my top 12. Got to be mindful. The top 4 teams are reserved for conference champions. So obviously they're not the top 4 teams in the college football is going to be in there. So just be mindful of that when we're making the lists. So just start with my 1 seed. I've got Ohio State. Got them going 12-0 in the regular season. Notable wins are Michigan and at Georgia. 2, I have, not at Georgia, at Oregon. Number 2, I have Georgia going 11-1. I've got them losing to Alabama. 3, I've got Clemson. I was going to put Florida State, but that kind of got screwed over by the Georgia Tech loss. Not a good start for the Seminoles. 4, I've got Utah coming out of the Big 12, being the conference champion at 9-3. 5, Oregon 10-2, going to be second place in the Big 10. I've got them losing to OSU twice, or I guess it'd be once, and then ideally twice in the Big 10 championship. Number 6, I have Texas going 10-2 as well. 7, Alabama 10-2. 8, Penn State 10-2. 9, Notre Dame 10-2. Ole Miss 10-2. Missouri 10-2, and then LSU 9-3. So, what do you got, Nash?
All right, so for my top 12 teams here for the playoffs, I have OSU going 12-0 as well. I have Georgia going 11-1, losing to Texas. At 3, I have Colorado going also 11-1, losing to Utah. That could be a big team there. And then at number 4, I have Clemson. I don't really have a reason other than FSU losing. Number 5, Oregon going 11-1, losing to OSU. 6, we have Texas going 11-1, losing to Georgia. 7, Bama. Going 10-2, losing to Georgia and Tennessee. I believe Tennessee will be solid this year. 8, we got Penn State going 11-1, losing to OSU. 9, we have Notre Dame going 11-1. 10, Ole Miss 10-2, losing to Oklahoma and Georgia. 11, Tennessee 10-2, losing to Bama and Georgia. And at 12, I have Michigan going 9-3, losing to OSU, Texas, and Oregon. I believe the committees will agree they had a hard schedule and pop them into 12.
Very ambitious, very different, but I like it. Kevin, what do you got?
So I don't necessarily have my record predictions here, but I do have my seeds. So we're just going to let it ride. Sticking with these boys, we're going with Ohio State. Going undefeated, though. I do know that record. Ohio State's going to be my 1 seed. Definitely the best team in the country. You got to go with Georgia at number 2. They got Carson Beck back at quarterback, and I just do not see a world that they do not win the SEC, even though the SEC is really strong this year. The 3 seed, this one might seem like a little bit out there, but I'm going Kansas State Wildcats. I do really like their quarterback, Avery Johnson, and I think Kansas State's going to come onto the scene, surprise some people, especially because people are going to be thinking Will Howard, he's at Ohio State now, but the new guy is apparently really good too. So I like Avery Johnson for Kansas State. And then the 4 seed, I think Florida State's going to run the table the rest of the way, actually, and still make it out of the ACC. I think Florida State, it's a tough game to play on the road in Dublin, Ireland, week 1. I'm expecting a little 2014 Ohio State action where you take a little loss early, run the table, get them a top 4 seed, Florida State. But Oregon takes the 5 seed, also has a great year, just takes that L to Ohio State. Still think Texas with Quinn Ewers will have a great season, so they're my 6 seed. Notre Dame comes in at number 7. They got the transfer from Duke at quarterback now, and there should be some good stability for that offense. Number 8, Penn State. This one will always make you a little nervous just because you can never trust Penn State. You really can't. They always, you think they're going to be decent, but maybe now there's a 12-team playoff. They always seem to be like a top 12 team at the end of the year, but they're never a top 4. So we got to put them in. We'll put them at 8. Tennessee at number 9. I'm with you on that, Nash. We're having them in the playoff. I do like what I'm seeing from Tennessee. I think their crowd's going to be rocking this year. And I think they'll put up they might have a few losses there, but they're going to be good losses. So Tennessee makes it the 9 seed. And then 10, Alabama with the new head coach. It's just hard to see a world where Alabama wouldn't be in the playoff when they kind of make it every year. And now it's 12 seeds. So I'll have them in, but a little bit of a down year for Bama. 11, we'll go Utah. They put up a good year in the Big 12. They're kind of right there with Kansas State. I still think Utah is a great squad, and they got, what is it, 10th year quarterback Cameron Rising, and it feels like it, right?
It's something like that.
And then my 12 seed, this one might sound kind of crazy. I'm going with the Fresno State Bulldogs. Fresno State Bulldogs, they are going to make the college football playoff.
All right, let's move on to the top 12 teams in the playoff bracket. I'm going to start off with the 9-8 game. I've got 9 being the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus 8 Penn State, and I've got Notre Dame taking the dub here.
Yeah, same with me. I have Notre Dame, Penn State, 9-8. I have Penn State taking that as well.
My 9-8, it is Tennessee against Penn State. Just can't trust Penn State at the end of the postseason, so we're going to take Tennessee to move on to the final 8.
Moving down to the 5-12 game, I've got 5 Oregon versus 12 LSU. Oregon taking the win there.
Okay, now for my 5 and 12, I have Oregon versus Michigan. Now, even though Michigan lost to Oregon in the regular season, I still think they will lose to Oregon. I got Oregon taking that as well.
This one hurts me to say because I wish I could take the Fresno State Bulldogs just a little bit further, but the 5 seed Oregon is going to take down Fresno State pretty handily in the playoff.
Moving on to the 7-10 game, my 7 seed's Bama versus 10 Ole Miss. Got Bama taking this one as well.
Same exact thing for me. Ole Miss, Bama, got Bama.
I think Notre Dame's going to beat Alabama in the playoff. I know it sounds kind of weird because you're like, I don't know, Notre Dame, can you trust them? But I'm taking Notre Dame.
You know, who knows? Maybe Bama doesn't have their playoff swagger like they do with Bama. So moving on to the 6-11 game, I've got 6 Texas versus 11 Missouri, and I've got number 6 Texas beating Missouri.
Yeah, I have Texas versus Tennessee. I have Texas taking that as well.
It seems like Texas as a 6 seed is a common occurrence in this building. But I'm also going to take them to win. They're going to be taking down the 11 seed Utah. A little Quinn Ewers, Cam Rising action, but Quinn Ewers comes out on top.
On to the 1-9 game, or the 1 seed versus the 9 or 8 seed. I've got 1 OSU versus 9 Notre Dame, and I've got number 1 OSU winning.
Yeah, same thing for me. OSU's taking that win.
Easy peasy. Ohio State takes down the Volunteers.
Easy enough. 5 versus 12. I've got, 5 versus 4. I have Oregon beating number 4 Utah for me.
I feel like this is pretty obvious. I had Oregon 5, Clemson 4. I feel like Oregon's taking that very easily.
You guys might think I'm crazy. 4 seed Florida State takes down Oregon. The Seminoles are continuing the Cinderella run from the first loss of the season. Got
the man of the upsets over here. I've got number 2 Georgia versus number 7 Bama. Georgia's taking that win.
I have Georgia versus Bama. I really don't know what could happen there, but I feel like the safe bet is taking Georgia here, so I'm going to take Georgia.
Georgia's also my 2 seed. We'll advance them over Notre Dame.
On to the 6 versus 3 game. I've got Clemson versus number 6 Texas. I've got Texas taking that win, moving on to face Georgia.
Yeah, so I have Texas versus Colorado. Texas takes that pretty easily.
The college football landscape is going to be shocked when the Kansas State Wildcats take down Texas. 6 seed over the 3. Kansas State, they're moving on.
I'm loving this bracket over here. Just Mr. Upset over here. 1 versus number 5. I have Oregon versus Ohio State. I've got Ohio State winning that one for the 3rd time in the season, by the way.
Yeah, I pretty much got the same bracket as you. I got OSU, Oregon, got OSU again.
Now this matchup right here was actually the 2 colleges that I was thinking about maybe going to, even though we're going with the one that I actually went to. Ohio State takes down Florida State and moves on to the championship.
Number 2 versus 6, I've got Georgia taking on Texas to face Ohio State in the finals. Of course, Ohio State, like always.
Okay. Wait, what is it, 2 and 6?
Mm-hmm.
So I have Georgia versus Texas here. I genuinely think Texas will take that win there, so I got Texas going to championship there.
It's hard to bet against Georgia. I'll take Georgia, the 2 seed, taking down the 3 seed Kansas State.
Did everyone discuss their winners?
Oh, OSU. It's obviously OSU.
The Ohio State Buckeyes will be your 2025 national champions, no doubt about it.
See, that's all we needed. We just needed to agree that Ohio State was winning it all, no matter how they got there. They won it. Well, that is all we have for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Kevin, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. Make sure you guys to check out Kevin. His social will be linked down in the description. You guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.